Go.
Well, hello Canada West, and I have a treat for you this week. I want to introduce you to a new friend of mine. Her name is Cindy Thornbert, and she is the NMI president for Lighthouse Fellowship in Sylvan Lake. And she's tiny, but she's mighty. And I have been very impressed with what she does with NMI at Lighthouse Fellowship. I want to ask her a few questions because one of the things that I've noticed about Lighthouse Fellowship that Cindy has really promoted is they have a very active council. And Cindy, I'd like to ask you, how often do you meet as a council?
We meet once a month on the first Saturday of the month.
Oh.
Except for maybe July or August, we maybe just skip one of those.
Yeah.
And that.
Nice.
But,
how many people do you have on your council?
We have husband, Marge, about 4 or 5.
Wow, that's great. Well, I don't know how many of our churches do have councils. A lot of the times I feel like the poor NMI president is out there all by herself being a lone wolf. So I would like you to tell me what do you think is an advantage of having a council like that?
I think the biggest advantage is that we feed off of each other. So one person comes up with an idea, but then that idea gets expanded because we keep everyone else says, "Whoa, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's also do this. Let's also do this," and all of a sudden the idea becomes much bigger than what you thought it was going to start out.
That's awesome. I love it. The other thing that I think is great about having a council is the more people that are involved in the planning, the more people that are going to be involved in your program. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, that's true. Very true.
Yeah, that's great. Well, I've seen Lighthouse Fellowship does a really good job of raising funds for projects. They are very, very faithful to do missions moments and to do Alabaster. And so I just thought it would be good to hear a perspective from somebody who is doing a council that it's an important thing to do. And how did you get your council? Did you tap them on the shoulder, or how did you do that?
Mostly I inherited it. When we moved from Ontario, I didn't grow up in the Nazarene church. I grew up in the Free Methodist church. And almost 8 years ago, and it'll be 8 years this coming fall, we moved to Sylvan Lake after my parents passed away. And that we moved here to be closer sort of to the family. And Pastor Barry asked me, first of all, if I'd go on the missions committee at that time, which someone else was leading it at that time, and then that person unfortunately passed away, and all of a sudden I became it.
Awesome.
So yeah, the committee was always there. It has changed a bit over time. Sometimes someone will come off and someone go back on, and you know, I sort of always looking at, and the one thing I really like about this one is I have both men and ladies. A lot of people say missions is for just the ladies.
No. That's great.
And it sort of started with my husband going on because that kept, you know, the guys and girls, there was other guys on it at that time. And so, yeah, I'm actually in the point of now looking for another guy to come on the
Awesome. And I think another thing that can happen with a missions council is it can kind of become a little bit of a small group where you're accountable to each other, where you pray, and where you can share things together too. Have you found that in yours too?
Yes, not so much that we pray, although we pray at the beginning and end, but you know, definitely, you know.
Yeah. Well, do you have any words of wisdom for NMI presidents and pastors on this district about having a council?
For sure, just look at who's in your church and who might be good to, if someone's social, maybe could do the social part of it or the finance part of it, or you know, and then
well, that's great.
talk
Well,
to.
yeah, just tap people on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Well, I thank you, Cindy, and I think you're doing a great job here in Lighthouse Fellowship, and I hope that this is encouraging to other presidents and that they will get themselves a council and give them some jobs to do so that it doesn't all land on your shoulders. And yeah, it'll be exciting to hear from other churches. So if you guys have a council and are doing something good with it, please send me a little message. I'd like to put it in my email or in the video. But thanks for listening, and thanks, Cindy, for sharing your heart with us too. Have a great week.